Hey, what is going on, everybody? Boilon here, back for another video on Raid Shadow Legends. And in today's video, we're going to be talking a little bit more about LYSANTHIR. I think that's how I say his name. The fusion event that's ongoing for the next 2 weeks. And I want to talk about some of the best ways that if you are trying to go for him, what you can do events and tournaments wise to double or even triple dip to get the most bang for your buck when it comes to making progress for these events. If you are newish to fusion events, or maybe you're not, there might be something in here in this video that might be helpful for you. And if you do find the information in this video helpful, do me a favor, click that subscribe button and ring that notification bell for all things Raid Shadow Legends here on the Boilon channel. You'll be greatly helping me out. And if you haven't started playing the game yet, now is the best time, because you will get yourself a free legendary Alana roll and an epic Rector Drath and Ugo if you download using the QR code in the top right hand of the screen or using the link in the description down below. And that's not all, because you'll also get yourself one more champion by putting in the promo code Supreme6 as a new account, and you'll get yourself a Void Legendary Supreme Galax. So that's 2 legendaries and 2 epics for free. Now is the best time. So let's just kick things off, right? Let's talk about all of the events that are going to be coming for LYSANTHIR, and you can find that in game under the featured news. You can find it here. As far as the calendar goes, there's going to be a whole bunch of events, and I also do want to talk in a little bit here about the Fusion Void Epic Yuzan the Maroon, part of the Skinwalkers faction. You're going to need to get 4 of him to fuse up to LYSANTHIR. But don't worry, because even if you don't think you'll get LYSANTHIR, or you don't want to, or you don't want to push for it, I did a previous video on this, that this epic is actually pretty decent. So at the bare minimum for me, I haven't quite decided whether or not I can or even will go for him. Some of this will be, depending on your shards, right? Do you have enough sacred shards? Do you have enough other shards that are going to get you through the summoning related events? And if you don't, that's just how the cookie crumbles sometimes on fusion events. But, there is some good value here in at least picking up like 2 of these for faction guardians, things like that. And actually, it's a pretty decent kit. So we'll take a look at that a little bit later on. But as far as the events go for this, I think it's really important to note, I prefer, I want to show you they did a posting of it, which is actually a lot better. I want to show, let's swear if I can find it here really quick here, that they did a actual image, and this image is way better. So I want to use this one instead. And the reason why I like this one is because they actually line it up as far as the characters go. I'm going to hide my cam box here for a second here. But you can see in the bottom of the screen, they actually outline it very well as far as like, you need to get 4 of these, right? And this is exactly what you're going to have to do if you want to get all 4 of them. And so for the first Yuzan the Maroon, which is, these are the events going on right now. We have Spider Tournament, which is right now. We also have a Champion Training event. This is also running right now. And then a Dungeon Divers event, which is probably by the time this video goes out is also live. So these 3 things are going on right now. And what's really important is that you can actually do all 3 of these at the same time right now, right? If you wait, like, so that's what I've been doing, right? And I just want to pivot back to my game really quick, because that's exactly what I've been doing in the game here, is that I've been kind of holding on to my energy. I've been hoarding this up for when this goes live. Now, I'm recording this a little bit before the Dungeon Divers is set to start. By the time this goes out, all of that should be live. But I've been saving to do all of this at the same time. So when I'm doing the Spider Dungeon, it's going to also give me some points towards Dungeon Divers. And then also I need to do a little bit more in the Champion Training event. But again, I wanted to wait until the Dungeon Divers event was active, so that when I'm food farming and I'm getting gear along the way, especially shields when I do farming of 12-3, that I'm going to get some double dipping there. So it's really important that if you want to maximize the value of some of your stuff, that this is the best way to do it. So going back to the Fusion calendar here, we also have a Fire Knights tournament. You can see the dates up here. So I like that it shows you the dates here, but I do like that basically they're telling you like this is what you need to do for each of the epics. So we have a Fire Knights tournament. We have a classic arena takedown. These classic arena events are very easy to do. Honestly, all you just have to do is refresh your arena, your classic arena enough, and you'll be able to do this. One concern that I do have is a summon rush, and then on the 4th one over here, we have Hero's Path. We're going to talk about these 2 separately. Then we have another Dungeons Diver event too. This should be running alongside Fire Knight. A little bit. It actually isn't overlapping that much, which is a little bit unfortunate here. So you can see Fire Knight Tournament up here, and I think Dungeon Divers 2 is set to start pretty much at the end of Fire Knight. So you won't be able to overlap there, but you will be able to overlap Dragon's Tournament, which is part of the third one that they've mentioned down here, with Dungeon Divers 2. So you can see that the dates actually line up here a little bit better. So that's kind of nice. And then you have to make sure that you have enough silver to do these gear enhancement events. And this really depends on RNG a little bit, but I would wager that you want to save at least 15 million silver to be able to accomplish these. Sometimes maybe it's on the maybe about 20 million. I'm not sure on the higher end to get some of these done. If you want to do it really easy by just maxing out to level 16. And then we also have an Ice Golem tournament, which is going to be here towards the end, and that is going to be simultaneously with Hero's Path. And we're going to want to talk about that because you're going to get points in this Hero's Path by summoning champions and getting artifacts and accessories. But really, the artifacts and accessories part is secondary to summon champions. You're going to get a lot of points for summoning champions, unfortunately, and the artifacts and accessories will help a little bit, but there's no way, unless you have like 10,000 plus energy or something, that you're going to be able to do it primarily with this. And I guess that's where fusion events really take the hit. Now, there is going to be a total of 450 fragments, but I think that's because there's like quote unquote extra fragments in Hero's Path. I'm not really sure what that entails. I haven't played this game enough to know exactly what they mean when they say there's bonus fragments in Hero's Path. But, you know, some of the most, you almost need to do everything to the T, and namely where people will fail will be Summoning Rush and in Hero's Path. So those are the two things that I do want to spend a little bit more time talking about because I think that part is going to be important. So I want to go back to the game here. Let's show me again. And I think I want to just go back to the news article really quick because I thought that they had some more specific stuff about this. Okay, maybe not. They actually just said how you're going to get the points there, just like on that. So when it comes to Summoning Rush, and I do have another really good resource for you guys on this one that to really showcase the difference between Summon Rush and Champion Chase tournaments. Now, this is an article from Hell Hades gaming website, really, really good. Now, we do not have a Champion Chase tournament this time around, but we do have Summon Rush, and it is a very good article that explains the differences between the two. So this is where you're going to get points. And I'm going to zoom in a little bit here. So Summoning Rush events, you just get points for the types of shards that you're using. So you can, it's outlined here. You get points per shard you open, regardless of what you get, what kind of champions you get, which is good, I guess, because in Champion Chase tournaments, or in the case of what is probably going to be Hero's Path, honestly, I think Hero's Path is probably going to replace a normal Champions Chase tournament. That is going to depend more on the type of champion that you summon, whether that's a rare, a epic, or a legendary, or whether or not it's a void. So typically, void shards are better spent using on Champion Chase tournaments, and that very well could be the case for the Hero's Path event, which is going to be towards the end of the Fusion event. But as you can see here, these are the typical points awarded for Summon Rush Shard summoning, which includes 500 points for Sacred Shards and 1 point for Mystery Shards. Now, I really want to point this out because I think that is really important, because with that April Fool's event that happened recently, I managed to pick up a crap ton of Mystery Shards. I have almost 2,700 Mystery Shards, but unfortunately, I only have 2 Sacred Shards, 1 Primal Shard, 4 Void Shards, and 27 Ancient Shards. Now, I've been told that roughly you want to have somewhere around 3,500 points on average to clear these types of summon rushes, which means I would need about 7 Sacred Shards. Now, I do not have that, but I could have a collective of this between Sacred Shards and Mystery Shards. The question is, do I want to do this? And I think that if you're trying to go for Lysanthiir, it's all or nothing. Well, let's not say that. Summon Rush is all or nothing. So don't bother clearing or trying to compete in the Summon Rush event if you're not going all the way and if you're not planning on getting Lysanthiir. For me, I just don't think I'm in the position where I want to go for it hard. He is a good character if you are wanting to push the boundaries on Hydra. I think that is great. For me, I'm just not sure this is the best position for me to want to do that. But my plan personally, and this is going to vary from person to person, is that I'm going to be going for 2 of these, the Yuzan, the Marooned, and we'll take a look at them as well. Now, what could happen? This happened to me in the Fabian event, is that I actually summoned what's her name? Siendra Lightbound or whatever her name was. And I actually summoned a copy of her, and that made it significantly easier for me to clear the Fabian event, like significantly, because I was able to cut off 4 of the other events. And I guess there's a chance that if you summon Yuzan, that you could, like, one, if you get super lucky somehow on a void shard, right? Because I mean, you have to get an epic, and that void has to be him, right? So the chances of that is very low. But if you were able to get one of him, that would essentially allow you to skip Hero's Path, and or actually probably both, and Summon Rush, and it would make it extremely easy for you to get Lysanthier. Now, easier said than done. I'm just saying that if you happen to do that, congratulations to you, you got the shortcut. But you know, if you're not willing to do both the Hero's Path and Summon Rush, I would just assume that you're not going to get Lysanthier, and you know, plan accordingly for the other events. I'm planning on getting 2 of these, like I said, because I'm going to stick them into my Skinwalkers, Faction Guardians, which would be very helpful for some of the characters that I have already. I do want to take a look at his kit, though, because, you know, as far as he's an HP support character, but actually it's pretty decent kit. So his A1 attacks 1 enemy, transfers a random debuff from this champion to the target, and it heals. It's, you know, nothing stellar. His A2, however, is an AoE on a cooldown of 3 with books. Has a 100% chance with books of removing 2 random buffs from all enemies, so it's not a full clear, but it is pretty nice anyways, and heals this champion by 10% of their max HP for each buff removed by this skill. Now, the damage is also based on HP, which is nice because you can build this guy with survivability in mind, which is super great, and a lot of this is based on his max HP, so the more HP he has, the more healing that he's going to be doing. He does remove 1 random debuff from all allies, so this is kind of like Ugo. You're going to get that, and then heal all allies by 20% of this character's max health, and places a block debuff on all allies for 2 turns. Now, this is pretty nice, and why I'm actually going to be using him probably because I need more champions with block debuffs. Specifically, probably I don't have any support characters really from the Skinwalkers faction, so this would be very helpful for me in my account. So block debuffs for 2 turns is very helpful on a wide variety of boss battles, and why I'll probably make use of this character. And I guess what's unfortunate with these kinds of fusion events is that sometimes there are actually pretty decent epics, but then you have to lose them all in order to get the legendary. In this case, Lysanthier is good, but I think that it's not the end of the world. And I think that by having a few copies of this guy, you know, at the very least is a nice silver lining as well. And his passive, whenever this champion heals themselves using a skill, also heals all allies by 20% of any surplus heal. So essentially, if he's already at full hit points and he's still healing, then he's going to heal his allies for more. So a pretty good support character that I look forward to picking up a couple of copies for. And again, if you are looking to do and push the boundaries on Lysanthier, if you do want to get him as a fusion character, again, my personal recommendations is try to double and or triple dip as much as possible when it comes to the tournaments, when it comes to the Dungeon Divers events, because I think there's going to be 2 of them, right? If I'm not mistaken, it's going to be 2 dungeons. Sometimes there's 3, but this one only has 2, it would say. But there is 3 gear enhancement events, and make sure that you're saving enough silver. If you are doing this, make sure you have enough silver to clear all 3 of those events, because unfortunately, fusion events more or less means that you have to complete all of these events unless you happen to get lucky, shortcut, and happen to summon one of these characters. So that's going to be it for now. Let me know in the comments down below if you're planning to push for Lysanthier or not, or what your plan is for the next 2 weeks for this fusion, if you're going to be going for some of the epics. I also want to remind people that if you haven't already started playing Raid Shadow Legends yet, now is the best time to do so, because you will get yourself a free legendary Elenoril, a Epic Rector Drath, and Ugo for downloading using the QR code in the top right hand of the screen, or using the link in the description down below. And don't forget, you can also get yourself a free Supreme Gallic by using the promo code Supreme6 on a brand new account as well. Links in the description down below. That's going to be it for now, everybody, and I'll see you guys on the next video. And if you like this video, make sure you hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and you'll be greatly helping out the channel. Have a great day, and I'll see you guys on the next one.